So what I'd like to demonstrate now is a few resources online that are just absolutely critical to some of the work that we're doing with the trichomycetes. And this website that I'm going to show you is at the University of Kansas, and this is with a collaborator of mine and my mentor, Robert Lichtwardt. And what we're going to show you is what's online for the monograph, the online database that's currently in progress, and a very good interactive key to the trichomycetes and all 4 orders of the trichomycetes traditionally accepted. So this is the website for the trichomycetes. This is maintained at the University of Kansas by Dr. Robert Lichtwardt. It's a website that we in the field use an awful lot when we're working with gut fungi, when we're trying to write papers, and even when we're in the field trying to dissect and understand some of the some of the fungi that we're finding as we're dissecting them. So I'm going to show you several parts of this website, which was originally constructed on an NSF award, a Pete Award, and it was on that award with Robert Lichtwardt here and Len Farrington that I was trained as a student, and Matthias Cafaro was also trained as a student. And there's a number of other people that were associated with that grant. This web page, despite that, has been maintained and has been updated most recently with 3 clickable links that are very, very helpful. One is the revised monograph of trichomycetes. There's also interactive keys that can be used for identification of the gut fungi. And most recently, a new trichomycete database is being updated, currently with about 2,500 entries in there. So what I'm going to show you are these 3 links within this website. So this is the website link for the updated monograph. This was revised originally in 2001 and has been kept up to date ever since. When you come into this monograph page, there are some linkable buttons down at the bottom. Contents of the monograph, references, glossary, cultures, taxonomy, and back to the home page. In the contents link, you can find each of the chapters that are in the monograph. And I'm going to just demonstrate some of these. You've got a lot of stuff here that'll be introductory, historical, some methods. The one that I use a lot, especially when I'm trying to identify fungi, is Chapter 11, which is the taxonomic treatment. And in here, in Chapter 11, you'll have the traditional keys to the physical written keys to the trichomycetes, and all of the orders and families. And let's try an example, the family Ligeria-Mycetaceae. If you click on this family, you get a synopsis of all the genera in there. And if you're interested in scrolling through here and looking at let's say Bosiamyces transfuga, it has the description, some reference here where it was found, where it was originally described, and also a figure. All of these are illustrated with some portion of the original figure from the paper. It's a very nice quick reference to the species and is a great resource to have at your fingertips. If we go back, hit the back button, you can see how this will work. You can scroll through, and there will be figures. Any figure that you click on will have at least some part of that figure with the specimen that that is referred to. So this is a really nice sort of traditional layout for the monograph, and that's just in Chapter 11. If you wanted to look at some of the methods involved, you can go in, and we have some collection of hosts, preparation of specimens, and again, it's more of a traditional approach to the techniques that are involved with the culturing and collection culturing and preparation of these specimens. This will now also be nicely compared with some of the video clips that we're developing. So if you have a length, for example, of 29 microns for your trichospore, you can enter that and start to narrow down the range of possible entities that are known. 39 in this case are known to have a spore length of 29 microns. 102 of the Harpalales, minus Smidium and Sagulina, have been discarded at this point. You may be able to add something a little more specific. If we add the width, for example, it gets the number down to 16 entities. So this is a really quick way to get a good feeling for the number of known taxa that are a close match for what you have. Now you may well start to tease this apart even further when you realize that some of these are mayfly hosts and others are dipteran hosts, and you may say, oh, well, I have a mayfly, so it may be a Legiromyces, and it may be a stonefly, so it could be a Genistolides. So you can sort of work through this key and very quickly check off some of the other criteria that will narrow it down even further, and you may very quickly realize that you have Genistolides hibernis from a Plecopteran nymph, and when you start to look more closely at Genistolides hibernis in the key, you could look at some of the features of the trichospores and the zygospores, read the description, and become quite satisfied, or perhaps not satisfied, that this is what you have. This is a very handy key to have available to you compared to the traditional forms of keys in terms of quickly assessing and sorting through taxa. Another thing I want to show you is the most recent addition to this web page, which is the Trichomycetes database. This is a Specify database. Specify software is used to generate this. And what it is a database that's currently around 2,500 specimens, and it allows you to enter some information. Perhaps you have a need to know if there's been anything found in a certain country or a certain state, geographic region. You may want to find out if there's something in this list. You may want to search for a specific genus. So what you can do is, let's say you've gotten comfortable with something that you found in the field and you've identified it as a Smidium, for example. You may want to just check the records in the database to find out if there's anything for Smidium, and there is. In fact, this is records 1 through 10 of 492 for Smidium. Now, you may want to either leaf through this or perhaps do an advanced search and look for something a little more specific, such as I'm going to look for Smidium in Argentina and find out if there's something listed for that. And here we now have it down to 31 listings, and with a catalog number, overall location, and the date of collection. And you can scroll through this and get all of these 31 records for Smidium, and you can see here the number of different species have been collected in Argentina. The other nice thing about this is that you can download this information as an Excel file and export it for your own uses. So this is a great database that's in progress. As we approach the end of the current grant, this will be updated and will be a really nice resource to have in addition to the others that I've shown you earlier. So what we have then on this website at the University of Kansas are it's a nice introductory homepage for some of these really nice links. And then the other things that occur on this homepage are some of the cultures that have been deposited at the culture collection, American Type Culture Collection. It also has a really nice resource buried in the World Literature link. This is also found in the references part of the monograph. Now, each of these listings in here are references that relate to trichomycetes. and I believe there's well over 525 entries in this reference list. So that's also a very nice resource, especially if you're looking through the monograph. You find a reference and you want to quickly look up where that it can be found. And so I think I'll take us back to the home page and conclude there.